round 10 of the 5th annual NASCAR annual season, folks, here on NASCAR Heat 5 we started back on Heat 2, and we're already 3 wide. The 8 car having a bit of a rough connection here, and that's what sparked the most recent incident. There's a few, it's still green here, but that really shook up the running order there. Matt Smith was involved, and Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 machine was involved as well. Up front, Jason Doro, the defending NOSSCAR Motormaster Series champion, leading the way with Jesse Carlson in the number 20 orange and lime green Toyota Supra there, ran out earlier tonight at Martinsville, and he scored in P3. Jordan Dorsek in the 74 car, looking for 4th on King G in the 90. King is going to go up to the outside and let him go, as well as Thomas Kohick in the 38. He's trying to make that pass for the 5th place position. As you can see, some of these drivers already struggling a little bit for grip. Alex Tesdall in the 8, Trey Hollywood in the 51, Cameron Norton in the 0, Angelo in the 92, Brett Baker in the 21, Matt Smith in the 2. That's who's all in your frame here. Dustin Franklin in the 11 as well. And whoa, Alex Tesdall went up the hill. They were 3 wide when he did that, so contact between a few of those cars. These wild battles back here in this group, it's allowed the top 3 or 4 to really drive away from the rest of the field. The draft is strong, so as long as they settle back down, whenever they decide to do that, they should be able to drive right back up there. This track logging laps and trying to get up towards the front here. Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a 100-lap race, being led by the defending champion. The top 2 have now stretched it over the rest of the field. There's the points leader, Aaron Garcia in the 1 car running in 2nd. And like I said, they've gapped the rest of the field a little bit, and it's really helped them. And these drivers battling here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screens, that's exactly why the top 2 have driven away. These drivers, if they can get single file, they might be able to chase them down before the end of stage 1, but it's really what it's going to take. Thomas Kohick has taken the 3rd place position away from Jesse Carlson. He did it on the outside with his buddy Jordan Dorsek in the 74 car. Team JCR teammates, Jordan in the 74 coming off a strong win earlier tonight at Martinsville. In the 90, going to capitalize as well. And it seems like the inside line is the place to be for when it comes to completing passes. Don't think we've seen any passes completed up top, except for maybe the one that Thomas Kohick completed. Once they all went back to the bottom, seem to be all about the bottom groove here so far at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, they're all right there. You throw a blanket on top of them, and they're all in the draft with one another. They're not necessarily linked up bumper to bumper like you would see at Daytona or Talladega, but the draft that they're all using is definitely improving their speeds and their lap times. It's Angelo in the 92 car running in 10th, and you could see him a moment ago. He had no drafting help. There he is. No draft for the 92. For the 61, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15. He's the car behind him. He's gaining on him because Jeffrey's getting a draft push with Dustin Franklin in the 11, Cameron Norton in the 0, and there was one other car trying very hard to keep with these 4 cars. Out of the gate, it was Jason Doro with a great start, defending champion here in the Motormaster Series. 4 wins for him last season, and nobody will ever forget the wild 4 wide finish between the final 4 contenders at Phoenix. They were all 4 wide. One went high and into the outside wall. One went low and into the inside wall, and it left Jason Doro and Kevin Tattersall to drag race for it up the middle for the win and for the championship. Doro edged him. And it wasn't by much, folks, but he's looking to change that here tonight. He's looking strong at Charlotte. And so it has begun. This is what I was talking about, and if you've ever participated in those eSport qualify rounds on NASCAR Heat 5, you would know exactly how this feels, what they're doing, or what they were trying to do there for a moment. They were all locked up and linked, single file, and drafting with each other. I guarantee you those were the quickest laps they've run so far, but now since then, as you saw, they got discombobulated, no longer lined up and linked single file. There was contact made there between the 2 and the 74. The 2 found the outside wall. The 74 bumped him again. They're 4 wide now going down the back straightaway, and amazingly enough, nobody has spun out yet. Oh, 3 wide going into turn 3. And it looked like the 8 of Alex Tesdall drifted up into the 74, but honestly, they were 3 wide, so you can't really fault any of them for that. 3 and 4 at Charlotte is very tough to do, 3 wide or more. Matt Smith up to 3rd because of all of this. Jesse Carlson in that lime green Toyota Supra there, the 20. He's running 4th, and it was Brett Baker just behind him, trying to capitalize and take 5th out of all of this. He's got it right now, but he's got Thomas Hoheck looking to the inside right now for that position. He's 3 and 4, and he's got him for Thomas to P5. Jordan Dorsett the 6th, Alex Tesdall the 7th, Brett Baker the 8th, King in the 90 car running in 9th, rounding out the top 10, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61. Thomas looking for that first career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win here in this 38 car. It's come so close so many times, and could tonight be his night? Right now in 5th. Good track position here, but again, it's early, folks. Stage 1. You're going to need this good track position towards the end. It's when it's really going to matter and really going to count. Top 2 have walked away. Jason running in the lead there, the 08 machine, and Aaron Garcia behind him in the 1. Points leader coming into this race, and Triple Crown winner in NOSSCAR on the NASCAR Heat Games, having a win in the Platinum Cup Series, Motormaster Series, and Truck Series. And that is the conclusion of Stage 1. And give it to the defending champion, Jason Doro. And there he is. Congratulations on a strong Stage 1 win for Jason Doro, and 5 valuable points and a playoff point towards the championship and towards the postseason. Those playoff points will come in handy, and if anyone knows that, it's definitely the driver of the 08 defending champion. Also, shout out to this driver, Jason Doro, winner of the Stage 2 in the Aquatati Money Race a couple of nights ago at Talladega. I was fortunate enough to win Stage 1. He was fortunate enough to win Stage 2, and we both earned a small cash prize. And the green flag is back in the air to begin Stage 2 in this one. The front row had Jason Doro and Aaron Garcia. The second row had Matt Smith and Jesse Carlson, but the outside line really didn't get going on the restart very good. There's contact between Aaron Garcia and another car, looked like Jordan Dorsett in the 74. They all held on to it, but that was a scary moment. It was up there towards the front of the field, about the 4th and 5th place position area, so that would have really caused a catastrophe. These restarts, we've seen how wild they can be. Angelo getting a push from the 16 car. 16 car is Even Steven, the 2-time NOSSCAR World Champion from Gran Turismo Sport. 4-time NOSSCAR champion in total. Brett Baker in the 21 up there in the top 6 or 7. 2021 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series Daytona 500 winner. And that was the biggest and most star-studded Daytona 500 in the Platinum Cup Series history. So that was a big one for Brett Baker. Legendary NOSSCAR driver and legendary sim racer all around. From NASCAR 15 and Heat Games. Angelo has 4 wins in his Motormaster Series career. And he's looking to add to it right here in the pack. And he's got good track position up in the top 10. The draft is so strong here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in these Xfinity cars, and with the draft influence put on normal, you really, as long as the leader is in front of you and within sight, you've got a chance. On to the lead. He's led the most laps in this race. Matt Smith in the 2 right there with him, and that's the highest he's been running on all race long. And if I recall correctly, I believe it was Matt Smith who won the Charlotte race here in the Motormaster Series last year, and will be coming back to Charlotte in the playoffs, but for the Roval. Last year's winner for that race was Ayrton Frederick, who's not here tonight. Supposed to be driving the 9 car full-time, but plans have changed, and he will not be continuing the season for Timac Motorsports or in the Motormaster Series. All is okay, and everything's well, just, yeah. Won't be seeing him in 2022. Lead change, folks. 2-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith takes the race lead for the first time here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pretty sure, actually, that he is the first leader other than Jason Doro in this race. Thomas Kohick in 3rd, Jordan Dorsek in 4th. Garcia running in 5th. Jesse Carlson right there in 6th. The top 6 have broken away from the rest of the field. Not by much, but by a couple of car lengths. Enough to not give them much draft help. But whoa, Jesse Carlson, the pole sitter for this race, had a wild, scary moment coming out of turn 4 there. He found the outside wall, and he did a great job saving it, but he lost the top 6 spot. And he just roughed up his friend Alex Tesdall in the 8 car to try to keep the position. And King in the 90 car really didn't miss that by much. He's now scored in 6th because of Jesse's error there, but that was a wild, scary moment for him. Jordan Dorsek was helping his friend Thomas Kohick in the 38 there pick up a couple of positions. It worked, but now Thomas is stuck up on the outside, and Aaron Garcia in the 1 car making his way towards the front and bringing Jason Doro with them. They finished 1-2 in stage 1, and right now they're running 3rd and 4th, trying to get back into this thing and maybe even compete for the stage 2 win. They're all chasing 2-time Platinum Cup champion Matt Smith. Tied the record last season for the most wins in a Motormaster Series season here on Heat 5. Tied Noco with 10 wins and was arguably the favorite going into Phoenix to win the championship. And a wild 4-wide finish between all 4 Final 4 contenders at Phoenix decided the outcome. Contact between he and the 74, who's running 2nd in this race behind him right now, and they both kind of split. The seas parted, and they get them tuned up for the final stage, because that's when we can have that guaranteed restart. You'll be right back to where the leader is again, and you're going to need to have a solid restart with decent track position, and you need everything to go your way. You need to pick them off one at a time and try to work your way forward. Exactly what Thomas Kohick has done. One at a time, picking them off, and he's been up here in the top 5 all race long, running in 4th, and beginning to lose the draft a little bit with the front runners, but so very much in contention for the stage 2 win. And we've got a battle for the lead, and it's the 3 drivers who were the most successful 3 drivers statistically last season. 2 of them side by side, for the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And now here comes Jason Doro to the bottom, 3 wide. Contact made between all 3 of them. That really allowed Thomas in the 38 to close the gap, and they're coming to the checkered flag, I believe, for stage 2. Well, it wasn't that lap by. We apologize, we don't have an in-race reporter tonight. Putting the puzzle pieces together as we go. The outside line is looking strong for Jordan in the 74. He's trying to keep the 08 Chevy Camaro behind him. It's for the stage 2 win. Oh, the 2 just barely avoided the wall. And they're not giving up. The defending champion, that 08 Camaro, down low. Well, he's not giving him much room. I don't blame him, not doing anything wrong, but Jason doing everything he can to use every inch of the racetrack going into turn 3. There might have been some contact made. Now they're 3 wide for second, third, and fourth. Jason Doro escapes with the lead, and that is the end of stage 2. The 38 of Thomas Kohut goes for a slide afterwards, but he does get stage points. And both stage wins going to the defending champion, Jason Doro, tonight. A strong run for him in that 08 Chevy Camaro. What a wild finish there for the stage 2 win. Now picture the finish for the final stage, folks. You imagine how that's going to be. This is going to be something. It's round 10, the 2022 NOSSCAR Motormaster Series season. 21 cars are on the racetrack, and I do believe all 21 of them are still on the lead lap and still within striking distance of going up there and winning this one. We've seen great speed, especially out of the front half of the field, and some of the ones near the tail of the field or mid-pack have just been kind of stuck in traffic. It's anybody's race. The green flag is in the air. They're headed to turn 1, side by side, all the way back. If you're not familiar with NASCAR Heat 5, that is exactly what 21 Xfinity cars lead racing looks like. Here on Heat 5, we saw 2 cars go up and scrape the wall in 3 and 4. It looked like Brett Baker in the 21 and Alex Tesdall in the 8. They're still green. Yellow's on for this race, and we've only seen one for an on-track incident. Way back in stage 1. Oh. 74, Jordan Dorsek found the outside wall. He's going to lose a handful of positions, and he might be stuck on the outside line for 3 and 4 with Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 and Angelo in the 92. Jesse Carlson, the pole sitter for this race, trying to rebound. He's been stuck outside of the top 5 for most of this race. Got 4th in stage 1, Jesse did. No points in stage 2 for him. And now is when you want that track position. We're talking a little bit about in stage 1 how strong the draft is here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in these Xfinity cars, that as long as you have the draft with the car in front of you, you have a chance to win this race. They're not going anywhere. Pardon me. And they're chasing this man right here, the defending Motormaster Series champion, Jason Doro. He's winless so far here in 2022, but tonight is definitely the best that we've seen of him changing that, and he is doing a great job. Stage 1 winner, stage 2 winner, and he's got the lead here in the final stage. Can he hold it? The points leader and the driver in second in the points, right behind him there, in order. And Aaron Garcia in the 1, the blue car looking low. Matt Smith in the 2, the red car stays up in line, and I believe we are under caution. We are. Yeah, no, I don't know exactly what for. There's definitely some damage there to the front end of Timmy Brown, the 2018 Brickyard 200 winner in this series, former NOSSCAR Motormaster Series race winner. And that's a heartbreaker for him. Announced earlier this season that this would be his final full-time Motormaster Series season. And we'll see if we can rack him up and try again. There's the Canadian driver, Alex Labbé, in the 36 car. Or, excuse me, Bailey Steffler. I definitely said Alex Labbé. Alex is not in this race. Here we go, folks. Green flag is back in the air. Let's see what we can do from this point forward. And it's Alex Hesdall restarting with the lead. And the defending champion, Jason Doro, right there with him in second. Matt Smith right there in third, but now they're 3 wide for the lead. Aaron Garcia was going all the way down to the white line to try to make that work, and then he thought better of it, and Thomas Kohick just came in and bumped Alex Hesdall. Alex went up the racetrack and into Matt Smith, and this is definitely going to draw caution. The third caution of the race for an on-track incident, and it stemmed with the 38 car, who's been mistake-free all race long. Yeah, Thomas Kohick made a bold 3-wide move going into turn 3, and we've seen that move work before, and I'm sure Thomas has even made that move work before, but his car went up the racetrack and into the side of another, and a whole bunch of others kind of paid the price for it, so we are under caution at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Round 10 of the 2022 season, 5th annual NOSSCAR Motormaster Series season, and it's been an honor to bring you flag-to-flag coverage of these races for all of these years. A lot of these drivers started with NOSSCAR back on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition, so they've been here a long time. They know the deal, they know the routine. Some of them have won a lot of races and championships over the years. Who's going to win this one? The green flag is back in the air. We've got a couple of new contenders up in the top 5. Oh, and one of them almost made contact with Brett Baker. Triple Crown winner Jesse Carlson in that lime green and orange Toyota Supra. Holds on to it and looking to the inside of Brett Baker for third. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. giving a push to Brett up there up top, while the top 2, Jason Doro, Thomas Kohick, they try to drive away. Deeper in the field, there was a couple of cars that, yeah, there's Trey Hollywood in the 51, and I didn't see what happened to him, but as you can see, a ton of front-end damage to that race car. Oh, the leaders are coming up on Trey. Trey's going to need to give way here. And he does. They're going to go around him on the outside, it looks like here. And he'll jump in line to try to be the first car 1 lap down. And he might be able to use the draft with these guys. I know he's got a lot of front-end damage, but if his car is not damaged too badly, he could potentially stay in the draft at the tail of this pack. And oh, they're stacked up behind him. They are 3 wide, and those positions are inside the top 10. They're starting to bounce off each other. Angelo just clipped Matt Smith, and Matt in the 2 car went for a slide through the grass. This might cause a caution. King G is in it. Timmy Brown narrowly missed it, but then collected agency has really picked up. These drivers doing everything they can to get to the front, and that's exactly what Trey Hollywood needed. Might even have been why he decided to start racing and battling in the pack, try to make things interesting and difficult, and try to cause a caution without being necessarily at fault. And he might actually be the free pass car from this yellow. A great race so far, especially for the defending champion Jason Doro. He's won both stages, and he's got the lead still, with Thomas Kohick right behind him. Jesse Carlson running in third. Brett Baker, the Daytona 500 winner last year, runs in fourth. It's going to shake up a bit now, though, folks. Some strategy calls. There's not too many laps left here at Charlotte. We don't have an in-race reporter tonight, so we don't know how many exactly, but we know they're really winding down. The green flag is back in the air, and Jason Doro leads them to turn one with Thomas Kohick, Jesse Carlson, Cameron Norton, Brett Baker, Aaron Garcia, Jordan Dorsek, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Dustin Franklin, and others. And they're wrecking in behind them. Trey Hollywood got a piece of it. Emily in the 15 car bounced off the wall. She's the furthest car behind the pack now, and she'll really need a yellow to catch up. There she is, coming off a strong top 10 finish last week in the Truck Series on Tuesdays. And she had some terrible luck there on the restart here. And caught up in a couple of incidents and lost the draft with the lead group. The inside, whoa, behind these guys, there's a couple of cars that made contact. They went up and found the wall. I do believe everybody is still pointed in the right direction and racing. I'm a little bit surprised because that was very scary. Business has picked up here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's final stage time, and there's not too much lifting going on, especially in the second group of cars. This lead group, the 6-car breakaway, they're trying to go and battle for the win. There was contact there between Cameron Norton in the 0 and Thomas Kohick in the 38 car. And that was a battle for second, but they're both going to lose a few positions now. They went up the hill and opened the door on the bottom. It's exactly what the defending champion needed to see. He's the leader, and he's driving away a little bit now. He's got a couple of car lengths, but if these drivers can get focused again and get drafting again, working as a unit, they might be able to run him down and battle for the win before the end of this one. Matt Smith in the top 10 again in that 2-car. He's been a victim in the last couple of incidents. He qualified, I believe, in the top 5 for this race. Now trying to work his way forward and catch the top 6 cars that are just in front of him. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car, and in the 8th position behind him. And Angelo in the 92. Running 9th, Dave Marks Jr. rounding out the top 10 with Brett Baker taking a look. The 7 actually of Josh Colm-Diaz taking over the 10th place position, and he's bringing the 2-time NASCAR World Champion from Gran Turismo Sports, Trenton Krentz in the 16 car with him. And the 0 has kind of faded a little bit. Cameron Norton has faded along with Thomas Kohick, and now the top 4 have begun to break away from the field. Matt Smith just took both of those positions in turn 3 there, and he puts himself up into 5th in that red deuce. There's the Canadian Bailey Steffler, still on the lead lap, and he's got drafting help. It's Timmy Brown, the 2018 Brickyard 200 winner in this series, right behind him in the yellow car. And Trey Hollywood in the 51 just in front of him. And some severe damage to the rear end of the number 8 Chevy Camaro for Alex Tesdall. I didn't see what happened, but that's definitely hindering the performance of his car. You can see Emily in the 15 really gaining on him. And that's going to be a battle for position if she can get there. This battle's all over this racetrack. As you can see, Thomas and Cameron have both been caught by that group behind them. So now they have begun to battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and back on to about 12th. And the top 4 have begun to slice and dice and try to figure out who's going to win this one. A little bit of a background for you. Jason Doro, the leader in the 08 Chevy Camaro, has a Platinum Cup win. He has 4 Motormaster wins last season, and he is the defending champion. He leads this race. Jordan Dorsek in second in the black number 74 Chevy Camaro, tied the record for the most wins in a single season last year, but fell short to win the championship in that chaotic 4-wide finish between the 4 championship contenders. 11 Motormaster wins and a handful of Platinum Cup wins. He scored in second. Running in third, the points leader this season so far after 9 races. You're riding with him here in the 1 car, and that is Aaron Garcia, Triple Crown winner in NOSSCAR, having wins in all 3 major series that we host on the NASCAR Heat games. Jesse Carlson right there in 4th. Triple Crown winner as well. And running strong this season, came into tonight's race in the top 5 in the point standings for not only here in the Motormaster Series, but in the Tailgate Truck Series as well. Very much a road course ace, but showing us how good he is on the ovals here tonight as well. He's running in 4th in that lime green and orange Toyota Supra, the highest running Toyota here in this race. Matt Smith in 5th, just barely outside of the frame here. The red car trying to catch these 4. Two-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion. Holds the record for the most all-time Platinum Cup wins. And holds the record for the most all-time NOSSCAR Motormaster Series as well. That is your top 5. A little bit more about them and what their background is here. Many of them started back on NASCAR 15, such as Alex Pesdall, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Jesse Carlson, and more. A lot of them started back on NASCAR Heat 2, like Timmy Brown and Angelo. A lot of them came into NOSSCAR on NASCAR Heat 3, and that seems to be about the majority of the field. That would include Trey Hollywood and Matt Smith and drivers like that. Here's what the second group looks like. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car in 6th, with Angelo running in 7th, Josh Colm-Diaz in 8th, Thomas Kohick running in 9th. Angelo just took that 6th place position away. Seems like they are working together for the most part for the greater good, trying to gain as much ground on the drivers in front of them, and even if they don't gain any ground on the group in front of them, they might be able to draft and drive away from the group behind them. It's King G in the 90 car leading that 3rd group. He's actually kind of on his own. He runs in 10th as of right now. Cameron Norton running in 11th. Trenton Prince running in 12th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. running in 13th. Brett Baker running in 14th. Trey Hollywood running in 15th. Timmy Brown runs in 16th. Bailey Steffler running in 17th. Give you a rundown on the running order here. Oh, we got a spin over in turn 4, and I believe it was the Zero machine, and he went airborne after somebody hit him, and this might draw a caution. It was Cameron Norton in the Zero who was up there in the top 5 at one point in this race and was even still in the top 10 when this incident occurred. And we're still green. Solo car spin. We can see exactly what happened. Like I don't know if he had help or not, but got a lot of front end damage. He's going to need some help now. And maybe not the kind of help he was given. And we got a number of cars coming to pit road for scheduled service here in the final stage at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Trey Hollywood in the 51, the Canadian driver is behind him, Bailey Steffler, and the 2018 Brickyard 200 winner, Timmy Brown. And it looks like, I was going to say, it looks like Jeffrey was going to do the same in the 61 Supra, but he stays out an extra lap, and a lot of these drivers looking to stay out here for a couple more laps. Oh, Jesse Carlson got really out of control there, coming out of turn 4. I think he might have actually been signaling that he was going to pit road, but I don't think he meant to go quite that low. And here they come. Alex Tesdall in the 8, Aaron Garcia in the 1, Jesse Carlson in the 20, Matt Smith in the 2. They're all on pit road. There was one other that I couldn't quite see. Josh Colm-Diaz still on the track. Thomas Kohick in the 38 car still on the racetrack. There's a number of cars really trying to stretch it. There's Jordan Dorosek in the 74. Jason Doro in the 08. I don't believe they've been to pit road yet, and they are running 1 and 2. stay out one more time. And I'm really interested to see if there's some sort of strategy there. Maybe they're trying to push it all the way to the end. I don't know exactly how many laps are left. We have no in-race reporter here tonight. All I know is these pit stops are normal. They're scheduled. These drivers, I thought, needed to make one pit stop in the final stage in order to make the entire distance. Not only King G in the 90 coming back out onto the racetrack after a scheduled pit stop. I don't think Jeffrey Robinson Jr. has been to pit road yet either, and as a result, he's gained a few positions. He's currently scored up in the top 5. So is Brett Baker in the 21. Or forgive me, folks, Brett Baker has definitely been to pit road already. Having a heck of a time piecing some of this together. But you're riding with your race leader, Jordan Dorset, and we'll see how long it takes until he comes to pit road. He's losing valuable time on the racetrack to the other cars that have already made a scheduled pit stop. So I gotta wonder if there's gotta be some sort of reason for this. There's gotta be a strategy for the 74. Oh, maybe not. Or there still could be. Might have been trying to get close enough to the end so maybe he can take right sides only. And Dustin Franklin stayed out the length with these guys as well. In the 11, he comes to pit road. Who knows what's going on? And we saw the 61, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., he was already leaving pit road, so he's made his pit stop. And it's going to be interesting to see where the 1, the 20, and the 2 end up in relation to those other cars that just came to pit road, because they stayed out much, much longer. There you see them leaving and rejoining the racing surface. These cars are going to be in front of them. And this could be the battle for the lead and for the win right here between the 1, the 20, and the 2 on your screens. Aaron Garcia in the 1 is the points leader coming into tonight's race. Had a run-in with Jesse Carlson earlier tonight at Martinsville. And it wasn't intentional. He's trying to apply a crossover move, but he hooked Jesse into the outside wall. I'm sure apologies were given. But now they find themselves up at the front again, battling for another NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. And it looked like Jesse Carlson got loose there in 1 and 2. Went up and scraped the outside wall, and he scraped it enough and slowed himself down enough that he will lose the draft with these top 2 drivers. The only thing that might be able to save him at this point is if he can get the draft there with the 8 car of Alex Tesdall. But they had a run-in at Martinsville as well, so who knows? Jordan Dorset in the 74, he's the one running in 4th once the pit stops cycle through. And if he can catch the 20 of Jesse Carlson, they both might be able to work together and catch the 1 and the 2. But this gives the race lead to Matt Smith in the 2. 2-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion and the record holder for the most all-time wins here in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Looking to add to it. He's got 3 wins this season, 2nd in the point standings, and 2nd most playoff points so far here after 9 races. We're working round 10 here tonight. And here's the defending champion, Jason Doro, won both stages in this race, but like I said, he stayed out much longer than some of these other drivers, and as a result, he finds himself in the 5th place position, kind of on his own. Angelo, the next car behind him, running in 6th. Thomas Kohick in the 38 runs in 7th. And the laps are winding down here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And he's just behind these guys, Jordan Dorosek made a move to the inside of the lime green car of Jesse Carlson, and that's for third. And remember, folks, I was saying that if he can get to him, they might be able to draft with each other and work together to get to the front. Jordan has about 5-lap fresher tires than Aaron Garcia in the 1 and Matt Smith in the 2. If the 74 can get there, he has a huge advantage in terms of tire grip. The race could be falling right into his hands again. Won earlier tonight at Martinsville, looking to go back-to-back here in the Motormaster Series. He tied the record along with Matt Smith. Both of them tied the record for the most wins in a single season last year, and they're both coming in here with high expectations in 2022. And I bet you if one of them stepped away from the series, the other would get that accomplishment, that milestone, because they're both so darn good. To the bottom went Jordan Dorosek in the 74. Honestly, the points leader Aaron Garcia in the 1, the blue car, he didn't have much choice. 5-lap fresher tires for Jordan in the 74. And you can see Matt Smith doing everything he can to hug the bottom and make Jordan have to try the outside line. And he's going to try the outside line. He's there. Pardon me. I know the laps are winding down. No in-race reporter tonight, folks, so we don't know exactly how many remain, but we know that there's not many, and these drivers are really showing us that there's not many. The urgency is picked up, and you can tell by just watching the action on the racetrack. Some of these drivers have spread out from the rest of the field. Thomas Kohick in the 38, Angelo in the 92. They run 6th and 7th. Josh Cole-Diaz in the 7 car runs in 8th. The battle for 3rd and 4th is on between Jesse Carlson. Oh! And that was a drag race to the line for the 3rd place position at the end. And I think he got him. I think the 20 of Jesse Carlson edged him for 3rd at the very end, and that is worth a playoff point. Top 3 get awarded those playoff points. And once again, folks, Jordan Dorosek has done it in the number 74 Chevy Camaro for Lone Wolf Motorsports, a team owned by the Hall of Famer Jordan Green, 6-time NOSSCAR champion with 95 career wins. And Jordan might be about to join him within a year or two up there on the wins chart. 2 in a row, back-to-back here on Motormaster Monday. And folks, only a handful of drivers can say they won both Motormaster Monday races. Jordan Dorosek has done it for the 2nd time now in his career. Matt Smith is going to finish in 2nd. And again, I think Jesse Carlson edged Aaron Garcia at the end for 3rd. Aaron's going to take 4th. And Jason Doro is going to round out the top 5 with Angelo in 6th. Dustin Franklin in 7th, and Josh Cole-Diaz in 8th. That is what I know of the race results. And stay with us, folks. We got a couple of post-race interviews coming your way. We'll hear from your race winner. right, let's kick off the post-race interview party, folks. There's a lot of interviews to get to. I didn't have very many for the first one, just the winner, in fact. So we're going to kick it up a notch here for Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was one heck of a race. We're going to kick things off with the defending champion, Jason Doro, in the '08 Chevy Camaro, finishing 6th in tonight's race at Charlotte. Jason, man, you led the most laps in the first 2 stages. You won both stages. You got very valuable points and playoff points tonight. But in the final stage, I don't know, you just didn't have the track position that you had in stage 1 and 2. What happened out there?
Yeah, it was just, I was pitting with, I seen a couple of the cars go in and pit, and seen JWoww stay out. And figured I'd stay out. I just stayed out a little bit too long. I see JWoww move his way up there. He must have had one heck of a pit stop, because he left me hanging in the pits. I just couldn't catch him. You know, hats off to JWoww for that win. We had a fast car, just couldn't pull it out in the end.
Absolutely, you had a fast car. What do you think the biggest challenge tonight in this Charlotte race was?
Staying in that top 5. If you stayed in that top 5, you had a pretty easy night. I mean, I never got back into the pack, but you know, I was on comms with some guys back there. It was pretty rough to pass, as it always is here at Charlotte.
Congratulations on a strong run here tonight, and good luck the rest of the way here in the 2022 season.
Thanks, Ty-Mac.
And moving forward here, we have Josh Colm-Diaz driving that number 7 Chevy Camaro and picking up a strong top 10 finish here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 2021 Legend Series champion. Josh, wanted to ask you, how did the 7 car feel for you here tonight? We saw you go up and down the leaderboard, it seemed like, all race long here tonight at Martinsville.
Just once you get stuck in dirty air, it's kind of hard to fight your way back to the field. There was a lag which killed me, and then I had to fight my way back, and then I just had to just keep chugging.
Same question as I asked the defending champ. What was the biggest challenge you found here tonight at Charlotte?
Just, it was the dirty air. You couldn't really do much with the cars and stuff, because it's similar to like Daytona and Talladega. If they have a run, they're gonna get a run on you, and if you don't get the run, they're gonna fly by you.
Good stuff. Good luck the rest of the way here this season.
Yep. See you, Ty.
And I apologize. I'm just trying to get everything figured out here. We're going to have to come back. 1 second. And I'm back here, folks, and I do apologize for the delay. I had a couple of things that I really didn't see. It's tough not having an in-race reporter. That's what's really messing me up here. And next we are being joined by the driver who was able to drive on up there and finish in the 4th place position, and that is Jesse Carlson, driver of the 20. Jesse, you had a strong run tonight, shot to win. Seemed like you were in that lead draft pack all race long, and you had a shot to win earlier tonight at Martinsville as well. And it seems like everything's clicking and going well over there for that number 20 team. Take us through your race here at Charlotte and tell us how it all unfolded.
Oh, well, it's just, you know, your average race. Had a lot of issues in the race with lag and people pulling crazy moves and a bunch of other stuff I could probably list. Stage 1, it was okay. Just a couple cautions here, a couple cautions there. And yeah, and then went to pit with Flash and Landshark in the last stage, and was able to keep up with them. But yeah, JWoww must have put some adjustments on that thing, because he was catching us, and man, to be honest, I guess I really should have pitted earlier so I could have had a shot to get that win. But Everything's cool. Just not as good as I was expecting due to my pace and everything. Just, just bad luck, basically.
It was a wild and hard-fought race. It seemed like the top 8 or 9 all had a really strong car and were very evenly matched with a good shot to win tonight. Congratulations on a top 5 finish.
Yep, thank you.
And getting word that the points leader, Aaron Garcia, declining an interview, was unable to be here for it. And we're going to move forward to the runner-up finisher, and that is the 2-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, Matt Smith, who also holds the record for the most wins all time here in the Motormaster Series. Nice job tonight. A second-place finish, a strong points night for you, and another playoff point towards your total. Did you have anything for the 74 there at the end, or did him having much fresher tires, was it just too great of an advantage?
Well, once he got in front, it was more just, it didn't matter if I had the draft or not. He had more grip in the corners. I was a little disappointed in how that played out, because I thought that with the 1, the 20, and myself, we came out of the pits together. We were running, the fastest laps of the whole race before he came to pit road, and I felt like he shouldn't have come out really as close as he should have, let alone run us down like he did. So I don't know if that's, if the tires really that, were that fresh and he had a killer pit stop or what, but I really don't think with his pit stop and as close as he came to pitting after us that he shouldn't have had that much of an advantage, but it was good points tonight either way. I was in 14th on the final restart and was able to drive up and have a shot at the win, so it's about as good as I could hope for.
You know what? I see some drivers out there battling so hard for these positions that they sometimes make contact with each other. And tonight we saw some of that with you in the 74, the 08, the 20, and everyone's okay. There was no yelling matches at each other afterwards. How do you go about that as a driver, and how do you take that in terms of your feelings after the race?
Especially for presets, Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks just because how racy it can get, and I think we showed that throughout this race tonight. And there's a good 8 cars that if they're in the right spot, they could have won the race, and you can really tell if someone is driving into the corner too hard and bumping you up the track, or if you're really holding your line on the yellow, if the outside guy comes down a little bit, you get forced down on the apron, and then it's unintentional contact and sends the guy on the outside up. And when I got underneath the 20 car on that last run, I was about as low as I could go, and he came down just a little bit, and we rubbed fenders, and it shoved him up towards the wall. And it was kind of one of those situations where no one means to do anything. It happens, especially when you get down the last 10 laps. You're trying to hold position, you're trying to hold guys off, and I think for the most part, at least the guys getting interviewed, they keep the heads on their shoulders and they understand the physics of the game and how it works.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, and I do really wish that more drivers would take that approach. And too often do you see drivers assume that it was intentional and this, that, and the other. So great explanation, and congratulations on a second-place finish here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, congrats to JWoww. He owes me 2 races now, so I hope he's keeping track of that. No, I'm just kidding, but we had some good battles, and he was in the right place at the right time for both of them, and I'm just happy to get a couple of second-place finishes. It was a good run.
We know more wins are coming, that's for sure. All right, guys. We're off. To victory lane we go. Familiar face to find. We saw him just earlier tonight, and honestly, he called it. He said to me, hopefully you see me again here in a bit. He's done it again. Jordan Dorsek goes back-to-back on Motormaster Monday, the second time in his Motormaster Series career that he has done that, and it is his 12th career NASCAR Motormaster Series win. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, what was going through your mind there on that last run? You decided to stay out a handful of laps knowing that those cars that had already pit are running quicker than you. Did you think it was going to time out and you were going to catch them again in time? What was going through your mind there?
Oh yeah, thank you, Ty. But for the win, when I stayed out, I thought I didn't. I just ran my laps, and I wasn't surprised because when you stay out, you get more grip, you get faster times, and I felt like that would overtake like a 3 or 4 car draft up front, and I didn't even go into the pits as hard at all. I actually went in pretty like just try to walk in the pits because I was too scared of getting sped. But pit stop, I think I got a 15.8 pit stop. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Made no adjustment. I think I went down 1.1 on my wedge. Came out, and I think I was about 2.5 seconds out with about 11 laps, and caught up with about 4 or 5 to go. Just picked them off one by one, and I passed them on the outside, surprisingly, because usually the outside doesn't hold very much, but the tires were so good. It must have been that extra wedge that I guess gave me the speed at the end. And yeah, came home with the win.
Yeah, take us through that outside line pass, because Matt in the 2 was making it really tough for you, trying to take the inside line away, and he kind of forced you to do it on the outside, and you took him up on his challenge, and you somehow pulled it off. What was going through your mind there? Did you think it was going to stick?
Oh yeah. I was more worried if they were gonna if they held the line. I knew I was gonna make the pass, but I practiced all race long. I didn't really force much on the below if I was going to make a pass. If they blocked the bottom, I'd take the top, because I knew eventually if I get enough repetition on the outside. I even passed some cars on the outside in 1 and 2 on the same set of tires. So it was just a matter of getting the repetitions, and then the grip and the faster tires just made it even better with the cherry on top.
Outstanding stuff. Back-to-back wins here in the Motormaster Series for you. 3 wins on the season now. Go celebrate with your team. Congratulations, man.
All right. Thank you, Ty.
And that is what it's all about, folks. Nothing but respect here in this post-race interview show. And what a star-studded field. So many drivers had a shot to win tonight's race, and they all went to war, folks. Different strategies deployed in the final stage, and they all went for it. And in the end, Jordan Dorsek staying out those extra couple of laps was the difference maker. He was able to drive up there, catch those top 3 who were busy battling with each other, went around him on the outside, and won this race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Quick rundown of the top 10 for you. Jordan Dorsek wins tonight's event at Charlotte. Matt Smith is going to finish in 2nd. Aaron Garcia is going to finish in 3rd. He beat Jesse Carlson to the line in a drag race by 2/100ths of a second. Jesse will take 4th. The defending champion Jason Doro is going to finish in 5th. Thomas Kohick rebounds to finish in 6th. Angelo in the 92 car, good run for him, in 7th. Josh Colm-Diaz, 2021 Legend champ, finishes in 8th. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car finishes in 9th. And rounding out the top 10, King G in the 90 car. Only his 5th start in the Motormaster Series for him, and he's already got a handful of top 5s. Folks, thanks a bunch for joining us here tonight on NASCAR Heat 5. Hope you enjoyed another edition of Motormaster Monday. Once again, congratulations to Jordan Dorsek and Lone Wolf Motorsports, a team owned by 6-time NASCAR champion and Hall of Famer Jordan Green. Good night, everybody, and stay fast.